Watch him walk through that door. Now that I just started streaming, I hear the pacing starting. People, so hi, surprise, I'm early. Yay! Wanted to come say hi since we didn't have any formal questions tonight. I'm like, well, yay! That means I can do whatever I want. And I'm going to start a little early so that we can go have a little surprise, unexpected date night that neither one of us were planning to have. But it's like when you've got a sitter and no questions, I'm like, well, I can just go chatter for a minute. Then we can go have some big kid food since we haven't really left the house all weekend. So congratulations to us, to all of us. We made it to BER-lin. We did. I'm still calculating the final totals. Here is the spreadsheet. I'm going to post the link here and hope it goes all the way through. So that link right there will take you to the Google Doc. I have all of the time totals that I can find at the moment. Some of you, I stupidly forgot to follow you on Strava before the event itself started. So I apologize. If you do not see your total reflected, please comment. Whoop! Sunshine Blow is just out. Is on the list of to-do things we got to talk about too. Not just you, but like everybody. So with that, so there's the link in the document. Not in the document, sorry. This link right here will take you to the spreadsheet. There he is. Hi, honey. That link right there will take you to the spreadsheet. You can see all the time that we spent doing really important stuff yesterday that would have got us to BER-lin, stuff like that. That movement like this counts as long as you can prove it happened, even if you didn't live stream it necessarily. Yeehaw. So, but right now the total is at 44 hours and change. So even if no one puts anything else in there, yay, we made it. But everyone who does play along and give us a total and your name's in the spreadsheet, you are going to get a discount code for the all new winter special new merchandise that is not yet on the site. And you're going to get the code, fancy discount code on the fancy new stuff that I'm really excited about. It's all going with we're going to have some. So this is why I can't keep the thought in my head, y'all. When that's like dancing through the house. I never know when it's going to pop out. Anyway, so we are getting some new merchandise. It's going to match the look and the feel of the new look and feel of the website. We are also giving a facelift to the podcast itself. If you noticed, our Instagram is shiny. It's gotten a bit of a facelift, and now we're going to have everything matching and going along with it. So you, when we get that sheet completely filled out, you'll get discount code that will. We could have a shiny, I'm just waiting for him to jump back in. I can hear the rumbling again. The shiny stuff to match shiny new us. Yay! I'm excited too, Karen. Thank you. And you should have something that arrived in the mail last week. Did it not? I didn't hear in Kavlin too. You should have some stuff. I need to go check on the status of everything because I have fallen behind in everything. Yes, we got you. I got your stuff. Always, Karen. I know you ran for. I'm proud of you. I'm glad you feel better. Karen was sick all week last week, y'all. I was worried about her because Karen's a lot like me. On a day when I want to move and I can't, messes my mental health. And Karen has been very patient. She's had the patience Job, as has Dan Felton, who also in the taper for his big race got a little under the weather, but still managed to knock out 2.5 hours today. So congratulations to everyone. And by the way, everybody that is running 3 days at the fair next weekend, fingers crossed, no rain. It's totally going to be sunny, but not too sunny. It's going to be that perfect level of overcast where it's a little chilly in the morning and it feels good when you start and you're not cooking in the middle of the afternoon. That is what we're hoping for. Don't get too excited. We'll take a rainy day. Rainy day, you can work it, but not a sunny day. A sunny day in New Jersey this time of year. So I'm going to pray for a cloud cover, a little bit of overcast, sprinkling in the afternoon, which give you a good reason to go take a rest. Yay. Well, yeah. Amen. Right. So you're going to get it all in. We're going to get it all in. Hello. Now going back to this note here, come talk to me. I am lonely. I'm really lonely and I got all these office hours and they're never completely filled. And I love talking to you guys. So you pay for this. It's part of what you pay for. It's part of the service that you pay for. We have not had anybody like overstepping or abusing. So, which is fine. If that day ever comes, then maybe we'll have to put parameters like you only get one a month, but we're not there yet. So between now and yet, go ahead and get in there. Come say hi to me. Even if I don't care if you're running, I don't care if you're not. This is about me doing my work, which is making you feel like the rock star that you are, me helping you count your wins. It has nothing to do. I've had a couple of you write me and say, well, I haven't been running, so I haven't had anything to say. I'm like, well, I it's not about you having anything to say. It's about me having something to say about you. And I've got nothing but good things to say about all of you. So yes, for the love of all things holy, please get your money's worth. Reach out to me and let me blow some sunshine right up your alley, right up your rear, wherever you need it to be this time of year. I did not mean to make that rhyme, y'all. Oops, here we go. Okie dokie. So as we started to ask away, there are a few things. So that was the first one. The second one, Karen Sutton, not to give you a call out, but I saw something that you wrote, and you know me, I got to have that perspective shift every time I see something that makes me go, I don't know about that. So you said that you put your name in the hat for the London Marathon and you haven't won in years past. And, what is it we say about doing the same thing and hoping for a different result? You call it wishful thinking. I'm like, no, throwing your name in that hat, it's more like, or you compared it to going shopping when you're hungry, right? That's it. Because you watched the London Marathon, got really excited, got inspired, and threw your name in the hat. And you said it's like shopping while you're hungry. And I'm like, no, that's more like calling your ex when you've had too much to drink and your husband isn't home. Just saying. It looks good on TV. You feel inspired in that moment, but do you really want to do it? Do you really want to train for it? I mean, I understand as much as everybody getting swept away in a moment, but I'm telling you, these moments that you don't think about where you get swept away, those are the ones that get you in trouble. Not that I've called my exes or anything recently. Good Lord, no. But I'm lucky enough that I've thrown napalm on every bridge I've ever walked crossed away from a human. So Mr. MK doesn't have to worry about that at all. That said, those temptations where it's like, oh, this is going to feel really good. Just remember, even if you win, you don't have to do it. And if you lose, you probably didn't really want to do it. It was a moment, and it's going to be okay. And I tell you that to underscore the fact that I'm just not real convinced. Again, I've been saying this since May. I'm saying it again now. Marine Corps canceled. Not all races are canceling. Obviously, Wineglass happened today. Congratulations to Adrian Martini's daughter and her friend who ran it together, their first marathon. And that's always a great first marathon. But I again, very, very cautiously, Wineglass is a smaller one. It's a big marathon. It's a major marathon. There's no less than when it comes to Wineglass. But others like Steamtown is quite a bit smaller. It canceled. Marine Corps, quite a bit bigger. It canceled. I'm not holding my breath for anything later as the Delta variant continues to spread and this outbreak gets worse. We're back to, for the most part in Colorado, you wouldn't know there's a pandemic. No one's been wearing masks anymore. That has changed in the last week and a half. I have felt a little like, oh, I need to get mine. My mask has gone from in my bag to on my wrist when I walk out the door. And I'm not an anti-masker by any stretch. I just got a little comfortable there over the summer. So I tell you that to underscore that things are shifting again. It's palpable. And I could be wrong. I would love to be wrong. But if that is where you are, if you're having trouble, if you're struggling, if you're feeling behind, if you see something on TV that's inspirational and you feel like you're not doing the thing everybody else is and you aren't, that is a lie. We aren't. I've said before, I'll say it again. This is a habit that started from a serious family trauma when I was 4.5 years old. That began the habit of running with my dad in the morning when I was 6 years old. So that combination of trauma, and I've been doing it since I was 6, arguably makes this running habit a little bit easier for me than for anyone else, because it's kind of like flushing the toilet. I don't think about whether or not I like it. It's just part of what I do. Sometimes I do it and I don't remember if I did it because it's that much of a reflex. And I tell you that because I'm struggling. I don't think I ran but once this week. So with that in mind, if I find myself lacking motivation, if I'm not excited to go out for longer than an hour, if I'm not excited to do this thing that I've been doing since I was 6 years old with trauma that had me nervous, if I didn't do the thing, then it's no surprise that anyone else, of course, it's going to be harder for you. There are a lot of reasons why it would be easier for me. And if I can't do it, you got to give yourself a break. This is where we are, which leads to the next point that I wanted to make. I read something that resonated with me because Coach Nakia and I have been talking about this with each other and on Twitter. And it's about this word normal. And I hate that word mainly because there's so much of me that has never been normal or qualified as normal. I'm the person who's a little too loud, a little too excited, a little too passionate, a little too, oh my God, a little too intimidating. I'm a little too much of everything in every direction. So I've always been fascinated by what this idea of normal is until this year with last year with the pandemic and this year where everyone feels like we're waiting to exhale, because it's like once that exhale, that normal will be right there. Personally, I've come to accept that normal is a nonsense word that is mostly a stand-in for feeling comfortable and certain. In my own life, I've come to understand that much of the comfort and certainty I felt was also a lie. It was a trick I played on myself in order to feel important or in control. Normal often meant ignoring how I actually felt. Like everyone else, I'm staring down a calendar packed with uncertainty and unease. I'm anxious about the future, grateful for the gifts of the present, vaccines, in-person time with friends and loved ones, etc., and trying to remain cautiously optimistic. I'm overwhelmed, but I do feel more prepared for the days ahead, in part because I know that I'm not going back to the way I was before. There's more of me now than there was before, quite literally. So my task is now figuring out what to do with it all. I love that. That is from the Galaxy Brain Substack newsletter written by the partner of Anne Helen Peterson. His name is Charlie Warzel. It's pretty good. I can't lie and say like I read it with the diligence and the focus that I give hers every week. That one caught my attention in particular, and I've been meaning to share that with you now for several weeks. I will also put the link here, come back and circle back and do that in the comments. For me, a normal year has always been a spring marathon and a fall marathon, because I remember I fell, if you've been here for a while, you've heard this story before, and I apologize for that, but I fell into marathons because when I went to college, I couldn't explain to people why I ran so much. It was such an odd thing if you weren't an athlete, if you weren't on the cross country or the track team. And for me to be doing it on a track, because you can't get lost on a track and you know exactly how far you went. This is the time before Garmin. To be the non-athlete in what was typically a hyper-athletic space, I fell into marathons because it was an answer. It's like, oh, are you training for a marathon? Yes. I lied. And then I went to the card catalog and figured out what a marathon was and how to train for one. And I, again, not totally proud of it. But when I think about why do I do marathons, that's why. Why don't I do any other distance? Because it hurts and it's hard. I don't love 5Ks. I mean, going 5K, if you've seen a workout with 5K effort in it, it's probably made you cringe a little bit. There's a reason. It's awful. 10K effort, not so bad, but boy, it catches up to you by the time you get to like mile 4, right? 5K effort catches up to you by mile 2. And that's the thing about these races. That's the thing about endurance. It's always going to feel good in the beginning and then suck at the end. You will never be so fit that the back part of a marathon that has been executed well is going to feel good. It's always going to be a struggle from mile 21 or 22 to the finish line. And that's like an hour plus of running, like for a fast person, that's still an hour of running left. So I tell you all that to tell you this. When I think about normal and what we're going to be returning to, this time of not feeling particularly motivated to train. I'm still motivated to get out the door. I'm motivated to walk. I'm not motivated to exert myself a whole lot because the air quality's been terrible. It's hard to get a good deep breath. Lots and lots of anxiety, what have you. There are reasons, not excuses, reasons. My body could not, the body does not differentiate between psychological and physiological stress. And this is probably the longest period of stressed out I have ever experienced personally. And we've all know I've had trauma several times in my life. So if this is a struggle for you, then I would say let's take a minute to think about what normal has to be. This is a conversation we've been having in our household on multiple levels, which is why my husband had to come in here and come dancing. This would be another great moment for him too. Consulting is looking like it might not return to travel full time, which for me is really exciting. I'm like, oh man, I get a full-time husband. I've never had that before last year. That's great. And then begets the question, well, we're going to need more space if we're going to have all people home all the time, or if there's another spate of remote learning. And by the way, we don't have room for bunk beds, and we really need bunk beds and at least 2 more bathrooms. What are we going to do? And then with that question of, well, if he doesn't have to travel anymore, then we don't have to be near a major airport. We don't have to be, because we look around Denver, we can't afford anything. I don't think we're ever going to be able to afford anything. And that's cool with us. Like we're if we're going to have the trade-off with him not traveling and cutting the career down, because it's like, do I really want to be a partner? I'm like, no, please, no, it's fine. Stay here. We want you. So if that trade-off means like we're probably not going to be able to afford $1 million house ever. Okay. Well, if we can't afford a house here and we don't have to be near a major airport, our new normal could be anywhere we want it to be. That was such a cool thought. And we've had a lot of fun looking and thinking like, well, what about Idaho? We loved Coeur d'Alene. What about Montana? Missoula looks affordable. And we've had the best time. I know, don't get me wrong, I love Pittsburgh. I do. I mean, I'm the one who talked to everybody and trying to do that marathon there in 2017 before I got pregnant. I love Pittsburgh. The one we are realistically, we're probably going to have to stay West Coast because he still does do oil and gas stuff. So Spokane, Pocatello, Idaho Falls, and Missoula, Western Montana, Helena. That's what we've been looking at. We've just had so much fun. Like, gosh, our money would go so much further. Everything's so much cheaper. And it's, I don't know. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not going to say this must happen. Realistically, again, who wants to buy or sell in this current housing market? But the point is more about what can normal look like. It is a freeing and really exciting thought. We don't have to worry if we can't afford a better house in Denver. We don't have to be in Denver. What if I never want to run a marathon again? I'm still a runner. What if I never run a marathon again? That's a freeing thought. So the whole point underscoring all of this is that the whatever normal is, it's what you want it to be. Normal belies a sense of comfort. And those things that aren't comfortable, those things that bring us anxiety, who says we have to keep them? Maybe we never needed him in the first place. There's more of him. The first part of this email, he talks about how he's gained some weight, and he thinks about how he used to work so hard all the time. And this guy doesn't even have kids, right? So this is a guy with no kids living by himself in Missoula, Montana, funny enough, riding his Peloton and running obsessively. And now he goes to put on a pair of pants to go to a wedding and they don't fit. And he's like, man, what? All of that work just to put on these horrible pants that don't feel comfortable. I'm like, that's so true. What a good point. What if so? Then the point of this article is more about what is the working balance going to feel like? And for me, I'm like, well, I have more body. There's definitely more of me than there used to be. There's more Flemings than there used to be. The new normal needs to be a whole lot more comfortable than these old horrible pants that we're going to ceremoniously burn some of my husband's in the backyard in a couple of days. Fuck yeah, you can always visit and bring me pie. Yes. The answer is always yes. It's not even really a question. Guessing that's Helen. Because your pie was damn good, Helen. That was some damn fine pie. I loved it. Whew. Anywhere I go, all of you are always welcome. So that was the point of that. New normal. Get excited. Maybe it's doing 3 days at the fair like a bunch of these people are going to be doing. Maybe it's doing nothing at all. Maybe it's like I run when I want to. I don't when I don't. But that's kind of what fitness protection is about. It's making sure that we have this community of like-minded people that are giving each other encouragement without the false nonsense of trying to talk each other into things that we don't really want to do, that don't really make each other happy. You want to run a marathon? We are here for it. But we're not going to make people who don't want to run a marathon feel bad. Or any people who are like, I just don't want to race. They're not going to feel like they're on the outside looking in. If there are people here who definitely want to get stronger and faster, I will facilitate all of that. But I'm not only here for that. And hopefully this year has kind of given us an opportunity to sit back where I can say these things to you. And if there was a part of you who thought that I was either calling you out or discouraging you in some way, hopefully now this feels more like a resonant message. Like, you aren't really excited about this goal and it's stressing you out. Why are we doing it? You don't have to. That's not the loser's way out. That is really, that's kind of ballsy as fuck. Do you really want to do this work? No, me neither. Let's get ice cream. Because I've got some crumble left over from Helen. Not anymore. That's all gone. That's long gone, Helen. We got some crumble. Let's put it on ice cream and go for a walk, because this is like the walk that I did with Christian Frazier when I was in Lake the Ozarks on my last trip. There's so much that we can do and we can do together, and it doesn't have to be bound to a race. It doesn't have to be bound to bigger, better, faster, more. Every single day, if you want to do something, you know what you can do. If you need sunshine, you know who to come to. If you have a question, I will answer it, Google it, or make up something really great. But what matters at the end of the day is that we have each other, not that we're pursuing the things. So if you're not running, again, if you're waiting to exhale for life to go back to normal, this is the week I would beg you, let's think about what that new normal looks like. What does it have to look like? What do we want it to look like? I know that I want my future to look like the soft pants I'm wearing right now, because I'm never going back to hard pants. The things that we are burning, the clothing that we're never going to wear again, the stuff that we can't even give to the unhoused, because I wouldn't do that to them. Got some jeans I've never worn. I'm like, why do we even own these? I hate jeans. They're not comfortable. They're terrible. They might have looked good when I was younger before I had kids, but shoot, now all that stuff is gone. Tell me what you're going to burn that you don't need anymore. Put it in the comments. I want to hear. 2 more points. Another is the podcast. That is going to be coming back now that my private life has calmed down a little bit. And I can make some plans, even though life ain't normal. I got a lot of things to say. And I got a great person to say them with, who's Coach Nakia. And we have lined up another recording that'll be in a week or 2 with Lindley Ashline, because we want to talk about exactly that. The things that you do or don't do because of the size you are. What goals have you never pursued because people like me aren't supposed to do that? And what did you choose to do instead? What would you do if you weren't fill in the blank is sort of the direction we're going to be going with that. If there's anything you want us to cover on the podcast, anything that you would like to talk about, any questions that you have for Miss Ashline, for me or Nakia, let us know as well as we start planning out the rest of the year. Coach Nakia and I will be having another planning session. Most recently, we're getting ready for her to go to She Podcasts while I've been taking time with the marketing team for the rebranding and the look and the feel. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes, man. I kind of came out this past week and I was like, right, let's do this. I'm back in this. And I've given people spinning in all kinds of different directions. Let's hope that they all those little tops circle back to me, but there will be a new look and feel of the podcast. And now that we have something to say, points that we really want to make, let us know what it is that you want to hear and what we can talk about. That'd be lots of fun. And always bring me pie. I figured that was you, Helen. I know you anywhere. Yay. Always visit and bring me pie. And who's that?
You know the dance break?
What?
Do you need another dance break?
Yeah, I mean, we always need a dance break. Come do a dance break while I look for my 4th point, which I think I put in broadcast somewhere else. Any cute. Come do a dance break while I look for my 4th point, which I think I put. I can't find
Oh, dance break!
I love it.
Uptown Funk gonna give it to you. Uptown Funk gonna give it to you.
Saturday night, we're in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Okay, the last thing, it's a Spotify playlist. So Helen, thank everybody. Kudos to Helen for making the Spotify playlist for the BER-lin Marathon. And I got so excited, like, oh, I bet I could do that too. Wow, it's amazingly not hard. And I've got this little thing that I put on my desktop now where I can just like drag and drop, and I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. I should have done it sooner. Yay. So we've got a Spotify playlist now for October. I'm sending that to everyone via email in the next few minutes, and tell me what you think. If you like it, it's only about 34 minutes long enough for an average run. But that we're just playing around with that. We've got a few other things coming down the pike. Remember Janet Smith? If you're like me, I could look at Janet Smith all day long. She's a lot of fun. And we're putting together potentially a program called The Extra Mile with Janet. So let us know, what do you want to hear talk about on the podcast? Do you like our Spotify playlists? Do you want more of these? And would you be interested in going an extra mile with Janet Smith? I know I would. Anyway, that is dance break. Yes. Oh, is that Nakia? He'll love that when he comes around and sees that it was you. Those are all the points that I can think of this week, except for one final one, the most important one. Coach Amy, sponsored athlete Amy, is getting married in T-minus 12. We're going to have a thread, and we're going to be asking everyone. We're going to put together like a little, we've already sent the fitness protection program official gift to her and her soon-to-be husband, Tim Honor's honeymoon fund. And we're hoping that everyone can send us your best newlywed advice. So I'm going to be working with Coach Nakia to put that in on Instagram, since Coach Amy uses that a little bit more than she does Facebook. So we're going to have some Instagram threads this week. We're going to have the wedding countdown up to her big day, and make sure that you take the time to follow Coach Amy on Instagram, and also to say congratulations. Some of us will get married like 10 times, others only once, just in case it's just the once. Let's make sure it's a really good one. Just kidding, Amy. I think, of course, it's going to last forever. Who in their right mind would let go of you? We love you, Amy. Congratulations. She's probably not watching this right now because she's getting her hair and makeup consultation. And unfortunately, that's by video. I was like, my daughter and I were all like waiting for photos. And she's like, no, it's not like here in my house. Like, oh, damn it. Anyway. Oh, these destination weddings. Either way, Make her feel coached and loved just like I do, y'all. Links also going to be coming out. Another email. If you did not get October, it is up. And I'm told that the links aren't working really well to the playlist on the website. So go back and look in your email because the link is there in your email. If you did not receive it, do let me know. Take a look and make sure that you're in the BER-lin Marathon spreadsheet. Links up there so that we can get you the discount code. And thank you for playing with us. And let's go into this week thinking about what the new normal has to be, because you ain't got to do anything but say hi to me, let me blow some sunshine up your rear end, and pay taxes, which, yes, husband, I'm going to remember to get the final paperwork done this week. We are really late, but it's been a year, y'all. You're coached. You are loved. And if you did your taxes when they were supposed to be done, you're winning at life. Don't brag.